months to edit. And so I learned that the lack of immediacy releasing that was a big, it damaged the whole sort of strength of had I released it a week or two after, it would have served its purpose of informing people about it, fresh. And so I never really want to go into something now that I can't complete within a week, unless it doesn't need to be, but generally, we'll keep the shooting to a structure that allows us to tick the boxes. Have we got that shot, A, B, and C, and then we've got a template, a workflow that seems to be working.
Sounds great. Celeste, you've mentioned briefly about your team, people around you. So could you give us a quick rundown of who your team are for A Girl in a Cafe?
Yeah. So at the moment, like The Girl in the Cafe is literally just me. So I find that the technical side of things, I'm starting to learn a little bit more, and that is a little bit of a struggle. So I think also with social media, it puts a real time pressure. Like sometimes, you're exactly right. If you're doing something now and you've got all this amazing footage and you want to make it look right and feel good and all that kind of stuff, and it's not ready for 6 months, it kind of becomes irrelevant, even though it's not irrelevant. But so that is one of the pros and cons of social media. But for the series, I basically, when I had the idea, I just started talking about it, and that was like a really big step for me, because it was something different to just coffee, and it was also not really acting, but yeah, so it was kind of, it was the first step. And I ended up meeting customers actually who had those skills, and they loved the idea, and they saw what I was trying to do, because I still am super passionate about it. I have all these ideas that I want to do, but sometimes, and you guys will probably find this as well, you have an idea but you don't know how to do it. It doesn't mean it can't be done. You just have to find people that either believe in the same thing or can do that and are willing to help you. So like I made this rule that I wouldn't work with anybody that I didn't really believe was going to get something from working with me on this project, because I couldn't pay them. I was working 60 or 70 hours a week in a cafe, managing that, doing all the coffee, and I wanted to produce this. So I was doing day and night, and then like the team that I had that worked on this, there were 2 teams, so about 5 or 6 people in total, and they were amazing. So I had 2 people working on the coffee industry portraits, and they actually work together in their own field in the industry. One's a DOP and one's a producer. And then on the other team, pardon?
DOP being?
Oh, sorry, DOP being director of photography. So he had his own kit and everything. And they're just beautiful, like little short films in themselves, I think. And then the other idea that I had, which was the customer portraits, which was a bigger idea of mine, in terms of just content and conversation and setup. So I had a couple of cameras set up all the time, so I tried to have 2 or 3, and I was learning as I went, but these guys were such film geeks that they were just, falling over themselves to kind of, get the latest thing or give me advice on stuff that I knew, that I saw in my head, and I just trusted them because I knew that their intentions were in the right place, and I think that's
good
important.
stuff.
Yeah.
We'll start with you. We'll kind of go back this way. So for anyone that is considering doing some filmmaking, can you give us just one basic tip that you could give them that maybe that basically just a small piece of advice that you could give someone if they're going to start making their own thing, and that might be about presenting, it might be about the way in which you react to camera, or it might be something a bit more technically focused. Is there anyone on the panel that maybe wants to give us a little? It could be like audio, it could be lighting, it could be.
Does it have to be one thing?
Just give us a brief. It could be a couple of things if you want. After you, Tim.
I think if somebody wants to go into making films, videos with low budget, I think a lot of people tend to focus on the look. They want a really expensive camera with an amazing lens, and I would say that prioritize sound. first. If you shoot on a phone and you have really good sound, on a microphone or something, that often looks better than a really great looking piece that has crap sound. So my first advice for bloggers or people who are really doing a lot of talking, to make sure the sound is good. There's nothing worse than hearing a room echo and your voice is way back. So that's my first tip that I think a lot of people forget about. I think the other one is content. Content is ultimately more important than the bells and whistles. The bells and whistles are the icing on the cake and do matter if you want to find your own uniqueness. But at first, what should drive what you're doing is the content. Is it engaging? Always ask that and step out of yourself and be someone who doesn't know you, isn't your friend, and judge it according to that.
That's really good. And Jason, have you got some tips for aspiring filmmakers?
Relative to coffee specifically?
Well, if you can, but it doesn't have to be.
I got so lost. So coffee is so massive, and I got lost down the rabbit hole. So I had two people that were able
when making a film, or do you mean just generally?
I'm generally very interested in coffee. So everything from every phase that we've kind of gone through in London in the last 6-7 years, I kind of was interested in it, and I didn't know anything about variety. So that in itself is such a large topic, but having people kind of keep me along in terms of what's interesting for me is one thing, what's interesting for the public and the people that are potentially going to view the videos, that's something different. And they're not necessarily, they don't get into the geekery of what I tend to get into. So I'd say it's really about character. I think people resonate with other people, not necessarily with equipment, or I mean, that's an important part of it, but it's really about preparation, good questions, but it's fundamentally coming to people resonate with other people, so it's choosing a really good character.
Is there anything you'd like to add? Something that pertinent to what you do in Guion and Caffeine, that you could give some tips?
I was just going to say, in terms of, I agree with content, but also I think that comes from like film something or talk about something that you're really into, that you know about, because that'll always come across anyway. That's kind of what I do, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I think the most important thing is when you're trying to film something or do make anything, is just to get out and try it and give it a go, because I think there's always room for improvement. I mean, I could be going on, I could have kept going with this and editing and re-editing and all of that, and it was sort of getting that way. But if you just start with something, you'll inevitably come across other things that'll fuel that, and you'll always get better.
I mean, this was very much a conversation I was having with Tim outside about how what you start with when you start making. I mean, it's happened with us on the magazine as well. You start producing some content, and you realise that maybe you're running out of stories to cover in that format, or you're running out of things to say in that way, and so you have to develop and come up with new ideas. But it doesn't mean as a person, as a filmmaker, as a media, as a content creator, that you need to stop doing it. It's just that you just need to morph it into something else. Is there any questions from the floor? Anyone like to pick anyone's brains particularly on anything? No? Okay. What's our time left on this? 15. Okay. I don't know if you guys have seen. There is coming a lot more content on the internet regarding films. Another one which I'd like to let you guys know about is James Hoffman's vlogs, which he's now up to number 17, I think. He's recently been to a coffee farm in Huila in Colombia and got some amazing drone footage of the coffee farms as well. So if you do want to check out someone who does not have a filmmaking background, has a coffee background, and has taken the tools and admittedly he's got some quite nice kit, but he's doing a very good job, and as you can see from his original videos to where he is now. I mean, you know, nearly 20 videos in, doing some really, really interesting stuff.
Two other tips if you want.
What's that?
Two other tips.
Great. Tim is going to give us 2 other tips. I'm trying to take them like this, and that's what comes feeding back.
I would say the 2 other tips is learn to edit, because for the future, I think as Mark Zuckerberg said, the future is video, and so it's almost like going to replace the pen for a lot of people. So I would say if you learn to edit, it's liberating to know that you can shoot, edit, complete, not edit, just be able to throw something down. And the more you can edit, the more liberating that is. So I would definitely tell future bloggers or people who want to be creatively independent. Once you get that skill, you've completed the cycle in terms of filmmaking. I'm not saying any part of it, shooting or editing, is easy, and there are highly skilled people who do amazing jobs. But the more you take on yourself and have to rely on someone else, the more you'll get it done. You'll expedite your production. And the other one is experiment. I definitely think that we live in really interesting times in terms of video content. And I'm seeing more and more weird food and beverage that experiment engage me, because television is the place I will expect, terrestrial TV is where I'll expect to see a formatted standard show. But I'm enjoying something recently, for instance, there's a guy called Action Bronson on Vice Munchies, and he's so original. His program is so, the way it's shot and edited is so loose and out there that I think it's brilliant. And that kind of experimenting of doing something, we're free to do that. We don't have to adhere to commissioning broadcast standards. There are no rules. It's a real no holds barred. So experimentation, I think, is key. And then as you grow your audience, they will naturally feedback to you where your strengths are. You will feel obliged to entertain them or engage with them, and that feedback system you'll develop, which doesn't happen in TV. People work without any awareness of what's going on out there.
I think that's one of the great things about platforms such as YouTube. They do give you that opportunity to comment on directly with the filmmakers and give them your feedback. If we can go over to Jason, what would you? Is there anybody out there at the moment that's creating some interesting looking short films that you either take inspiration from or that you just love watching? It doesn't have to be particularly coffee related, but it could be just cool stuff.
I think your reference to Vice is very interesting because they're kind of unique in that they are allowing there's a different language to Vice, and I don't know. I can only describe. I'm not convinced just because it's so foreign for me to not be consumed by craft. I still don't know what allows you to cut through all the noise. There's so much content. It's something that I struggle with personally. So I don't know. Even in that Vice context, which they're money to be, they're trying to reinvent the format, and they have an audience that's supposedly young and supposedly hit with it, but I know that they struggle also to define what it means, but the important thing is that they're just doing it. That's probably the first thing. But besides that,
cool. I mean, I've noticed that, as I was saying, I think if you guys want to look at that sort of interesting videos out there, I would definitely recommend having a look at James Hoffman's vlog. As Tim said, give the guys at Vice a quick look as well. What are you looking at the moment? Is there anything particularly interesting that's caught your eye?
No, I think I agree with the Vice thing. I tend to just... I have a bit of a problem with all the noise as well, so sometimes if I get on...
Are we not part of the noise as well?
Yeah, totally, and I struggle with it.
Is that just competition? You don't like it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but also it's like I don't... it's weird. It's like sometimes you wanna be like, you want to know that you are similar to something, but then at the same time you want to be different. So, I mean, I know while I was doing the web series, I actually didn't watch anything for ideas in terms of like content, because I knew so clearly what I wanted to get from each episode, basically. There were 3 different shows that I thought, when I was explaining to someone, and everyone would be like, "What? You're doing this thing on coffee?" It was a while ago. And so to explain to them and to sort of get some kind of understanding, I would say, "Oh, well, it's a little bit Rachel Koo, the My Little French Kitchen cooking show, and it's a little bit Coffee and Carbs with comedians, because we like drink coffee and talk shit and laugh and stuff a bit. But then it's a little bit like Amanda Ducatenay, who sits down with her celebrity girlfriends on the couch and they talk about love and sex and life and things like that. So, they were the 3 things that I guess influenced my show directly. But the things that I'm looking at now are I probably don't really want to.
We won't
not all
go
coffee
any
related,
No, we won't go any further with that. So I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you do watch a lot of things online, you'll have noticed that there's filmmakers such as Casey Neistat who have really done that daily vlog thing pretty amazingly well, and has now, funny enough, just quit doing it, as he sold his company for 25 million to CNN. But it's interesting that someone doing something, relatively low tech on a relatively low budget, and being able to do it incredibly quickly, turning out a daily 8-minute video is totally achievable. And this guy's hit 5 million subscribers, and the AdSense on his, so the revenue he gets from YouTube on that, even his old videos are something like 10 grand a day. So this is definitely, I'm certainly not saying that any of us here are even in that ballpark of what filmmaking's doing for us. But I do think that there are ways in which you can, engage with your passions and create content in that sort of way, and also can make some money from it. So you're saying?
I was actually just going to say, aside from all the visual stuff that we've been looking at, and another thing that I've been, rather than watching stuff on YouTube and computer and TV, is podcasts, actually, which is another kind of area of telling a story. So I listen to a lot of podcasts. All like, I've actually been listening to James Hoffman's Coffee Jobs one, which is it's a little bit, technical and dry in terms of it's really directly related to hospitality and baristas finding jobs.
I thought Collins was brilliant, didn't that was dry at all.
Oh no, not dry, but I wouldn't recommend it to my designer friends or like my fashion mates or whatever. I find it interesting, and I want to like pipe in with my opinions, but and there are a load of other podcasts and shows that I think if you actually watch things that are outside of coffee as well, that aren't always directly related to coffee stuff, I think you can get inspired and kind of apply those things to whatever you're doing. So Malcolm Gladwell has a great podcast out that I love watching, and I actually almost visualize that, and I part of me wants to make something that's visually like his is like a TV show in my head. So
Wonderful, thanks so much. We've literally got about 4 or 5 minutes left. So are there any questions from the floor? Matt Slater.
You guys, obviously coffee is super experiential, so the idea is to get as immersive as possible. Are you doing anything with augmented reality? Any of you guys?
Augmented reality guys, anyone working with that?
No, I would love to. I love experimenting with new things, and I'm always trying to get the information about coffees to be fun, and I'm using the flavor wheel and making it look like a video game. So if augmented reality becomes something accessible and I mean, it is from a user's perspective, from a production side. If that becomes something that isn't something you have to study for 6 months, I mean, someone one day might come out with a device that makes it to create augmented reality stuff easy. I think that will engage people, and it's very exciting. I mean, I'm keen to use like not the goggles that you go virtual reality, but the ones you can still see things, but in the room there suddenly becomes things. That could be amazing. So I think it's early days though.
I think it's very, very early days, but yeah, I'm sure someone will find an interesting way to integrate them. And is there any other sort of new technologies that anyone here is excited about kind of getting their hands on, or maybe stuff that's getting cheaper and cheaper? That you think it might soon be? And I noticed the red cameras are coming down in price, got like very high quality cameras.
Yeah, I don't know, what do you use?
Anything I can get my hands on, really. But in terms of augmented reality, I struggled with mastering just sound and vision. And so adding another dimension is frightening.
Fair enough. Oh, sorry.
I was just wondering, with your movie, how is it accessible? When is it coming out? How can we watch it?
We're just going to do that right at the end, but thank you very much for giving us that heads up. That's good. Is there any other questions from the floor? No? Okay. As the lady was just asked, just going to give you a really brief thing. So, Celeste's Guion Cafe web series you can find
Online. It may still be on Air New Zealand flights all around the world, which is great. I think they might still have a few episodes of the coffee portraits circulating on that, but otherwise just through my website, which is thegirlinthecafe.co.uk.
Lovely, thank you. And Tim, where can we find your work?
Our website is now been relaunched, and it's a very exciting place to get all the social media and all the videos that we promote in one place. So we spend a week promoting a new coffee each week, and then we put all kinds of mad videos out, including ads and everything we're making. We're trying to make go viral, but also it will end up on the website at Coffee of the Week page. So it's like a magazine, but a living page of videos and all the mixed content for one roaster per week, and it'll be spread out on the page. And it's really elegant and beautifully designed. So therighteroast.com, or the Instagram is our sort of place where we put it's like our shop front window. So we've made that the place where the very elegant design for the flow of the weekly roaster promotion that we do.
Great.
And other stuff.
So therighteroast.com, you can also find those videos on YouTube as well.
And there's a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
all social media, The Right Roast. Pop up.
Perfect. And Jason, how can we see A Beautiful Addiction?
I have a website called thisbeautifuladdiction.com. I just launched it about a month ago. There was a screening at Proof Rock like 2 weeks ago, but if you go to the website, there'll be some screenings in the new year as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And are we able to watch it online, or is it just
Everything's on Vimeo on demand.
on Vimeo? So you can purchase to watch it through Vimeo as well.
You can purchase the episode for 99p. There are 12 episodes.
That's a bargain.
Or all of them, all 12 of them for £7.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Marzocco also for hosting us and for letting us ramble for the past 45 minutes. Thanks, Dan. Hey guys.